Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. This week on Bold and the Beautiful, spoilers say that Electra Forrester will have a heartbreaking epiphany. Since Luna Nozawa went to prison, the pregnant killer has been out of sight and out of mind. But Electra will finally have to face facts and accept the fact that her boyfriend is having a baby with another woman, a serial killer at that. Electra Forrester Linnea Grace was a bit delusional to think that after she had Luna Nozawa, Lisa Yamada arrested, her relationship problems with Will Spencer Jr. Crew Morrow were going to go away. In fact, B&B spoilers say that Electra and Will's issues are really just getting started. Regardless of who the baby's mother is, Electra is going to have to face the fact that her boyfriend is going to be a father in a few months, and the Spencer family will be welcoming their newest heir. Upcoming soap previews say that as Luna's baby bump grows, Will Spencer will start to accept the fact that he's going to be a father once he sees the baby's first ultrasound, or learns the gender. B&B spoilers say Dollar Bill Jr. will even start to get excited about the newest addition to his family. Meanwhile, proud grandparents Bill Spencer, Don Diamont, and Katie Logan Heather Tom will be buzzing around the Spencer mansion and baby-proofing and preparing for their grandchild. Everyone will be looking forward to the birth of Luna Nozawa and Will Spencer's baby, except for Electra, as Luna's due date nears on Bold and the Beautiful. Spoilers hint Electra will come to the realization she's not the most important person in Will's life anymore. Will she jump ship and go find a man that doesn't share a kid with a serial killer? In the dazzling world of the Bold and the Beautiful, where fashion and family intertwine with betrayal and beauty, few storylines have stirred up as much heat as the ongoing tension between Electra Forrester and the powerful Spencer family. Just when it seemed that Electra was beginning to find her footing in the glittering halls of Forrester Creations, her world is about to be turned upside down by a Spencer heir who refuses to play fair. This week's spoilers promise ambition, heartbreak, and a reminder that in Los Angeles, power isn't inherited, it's seized. Electra Forrester has been trying for months to carve out a place for herself, not just as a Forrester by name, but by legacy. She's young, confident, and unafraid to go toe-to-toe with anyone, even Steffi, Hope, or Ridge. Her designs have been gaining momentum, her social media presence exploding, and her latest fashion line was finally beginning to garner attention from international buyers. But that was before the Spencers decided to make their move. Enter Will Spencer, the youngest heir of Bill and Katie, all grown up, polished, and dangerously charming. His recent return to Los Angeles has shaken up both the Spencer and Forrester dynasties, while his father, Bill, has been trying to keep him focused on the business side of Spencer Publications. Will has other ideas, including dipping his toes into the glamorous waters of Forrester Creations. Unfortunately for Electra, Will's arrival means her spotlight may not shine as brightly as it once did. When Will first crossed paths with Electra at a Forrester charity event, sparks flew, but not the romantic kind. Electra saw him as another entitled Spencer, breezing through the world with his last name as his key to success. Will, however, was fascinated by her fiery independence and refusal to fawn over him, like so many others did. The tension between them quickly caught the attention of Steffi, who saw a potential business opportunity, or perhaps chaos waiting to happen. Steffi invited Will to collaborate with Forrester Creations on a media expansion deal, blending fashion and digital storytelling. It was supposed to be a mutually beneficial partnership, but in B&B fashion, partnership quickly took on a new meaning. Will's presence in the building immediately created a buzz. He was smart, charismatic, and undeniably a Spencer, bold, strategic, and driven by a thirst for domination. He made the interns laugh, charmed the PR department, and even managed to get on Ridge's good side, something that rarely happens with a Spencer. Meanwhile, Electra began to feel her confidence faltering. For the first time, she wasn't the center of attention. Electra had spent months earning respect, not through her name, but her work. But now, everyone seemed enamored by Will's charm. Meetings shifted around his schedule. Steffi praised his innovative ideas. Even Brooke found herself smiling more than usual around him, calling him the perfect blend of Bill's edge and Katie's heart. Electra tried to ignore it, until Will started dipping into her territory. One afternoon, Will presented a new digital campaign for Forrester's latest couture line. The very same line Electra had been developing concepts for. When she confronted him, Will brushed her off with a smirk and said, "Relax, Forrester, there's room for both of us in the spotlight." That was all it took to ignite a rivalry that would ripple through every department at Forrester Creations. Behind the scenes, the Forresters began taking sides. Ridge admired Will's confidence and business savvy, seeing echoes of a young Bill Spencer, someone who wasn't afraid to shake things up. Steffi, meanwhile, tried to mediate but couldn't help being impressed by Will's natural leadership. Brooke, ever the peacemaker, believed Electra was simply feeling insecure, reminding her that competition can bring out the best in a designer. But to Electra, it wasn't about competition, it was about survival. The more Will excelled, the more invisible she felt. Her sketches began being pushed aside. Her name was omitted from press releases. Rumors swirled that Forrester Creations was considering making Will an official brand ambassador, something she had been campaigning for all year. The worst blow came when her mentor, Ridge, accidentally referred to one of Will's ideas as fresh and modern, something we've been missing lately. Electra was crushed. After another long day of being sidelined, Electra took refuge in the design studio late one evening. Surrounded by unfinished gowns and stacks of rejected sketches, she let her frustration spill out. How could she compete with a Spencer heir, someone who had never had to fight for anything in his life? But as she poured her energy into one last design, a daring, avant-garde dress symbolizing power reclaimed, she made a decision. She wasn't going to let Will Spencer steal her thunder. The next morning, Electra arrived early, wearing one of her own designs, a sharp, statement piece that turned heads the moment she entered the room. Her confidence was back, and her determination was palpable. Will noticed. Someone's making a statement today, he teased. Electra smirked, just reminding everyone who the real designer is around here. Their exchange was icy, but beneath the surface, undeniable chemistry was brewing. When Katie learned her son was spending so much time at Forrester Creations, she couldn't help but worry. She had lived through decades of Forrester Spencer drama, and she knew how quickly alliances could crumble. You're walking into a family full of history and hidden knives, she warned Will. Don't get too close to anyone unless you're ready for the fallout. But Will only smiled. Mom, I'm a Spencer. I was born for the fallout. Meanwhile, Bill Spencer began keeping tabs on his son's progress. Hearing that Will was stirring things up at Forrester delighted him. Bill had always respected Ridge as a rival, but there was nothing he loved more than seeing a Spencer outshine a Forrester. When word reached Bill that Electra was having a hard time keeping up, he chuckled and muttered, "Of course she can't. Nobody competes with a Spencer." But what Bill didn't realize was that Electra wasn't backing down. Just as tensions between Electra and Will threatened to explode, something unexpected happened. During a heated argument over creative control, Will accused Electra of being too emotional about her designs. Furious, she stormed out only to return later with an idea that left everyone speechless. She proposed merging both their visions for the upcoming fashion show, a bold fusion of Forrester artistry and Spencer innovation. It was a risk, but it paid off. Their combined show stunned the fashion world. Critics called it the most refreshing collaboration in years, and buyers flooded Forrester Creations with offers. For a brief moment, the two enemies became allies. After the show, as champagne flowed and congratulations echoed around them, Will approached Electra on the terrace overlooking the LA skyline. "You did great tonight," he admitted. "Maybe I underestimated you." Electra smiled faintly. "Maybe you still are." Their eyes met, the tension between them shifting from rivalry to something more magnetic. It wasn't long before whispers began circulating around the office. Steffi caught the subtle glances between Electra and Will, and even Hope joked that a Forrester-Spencer romance never ends quietly. But this time, it felt different. Will wasn't like his father, at least, not entirely. He was intelligent, respectful, and willing to challenge Electra without tearing her down. And Electra, for all her bravado, was starting to see that perhaps Will wasn't the enemy she thought he was. Still, their chemistry threatened to ignite more than just gossip. When Bill found out about his son's growing closeness to a Forrester, he was furious. "Haven't I taught you anything?" he snapped. "You don't mix business with Forrester blood. It never ends well." But Will refused to be intimidated. "Maybe it's time someone rewrote that rule," he shot back. As Will and Electra's connection deepened, Ridge grew uneasy. He didn't trust the Spencers, not after years of battles, betrayals, and boardroom showdowns. He pulled Electra aside, warning her to stay focused. "Spencers are unpredictable," Ridge told her. "They play with power the way we play with fabric. You can admire them, but don't get tangled in their web." But Electra wasn't listening. She was tired of being told who she could or couldn't trust. Meanwhile, Steffi, ever the strategist, began seeing potential. A Forrester-Spencer partnership could strengthen both families. Maybe, she thought. Will and Electra were exactly what the next generation needed: unity instead of rivalry. But unity in Los Angeles rarely lasts long. Just as the Will-Electra connection began to blossom, a shocking revelation threatened to destroy it all. Someone leaked confidential design files from Forrester Creations to the press, and all signs pointed to Will. Emails, timestamps, and data trails painted a damning picture. Ridge exploded, Steffi demanded answers, and Electra was devastated. "I trusted you," she shouted during their confrontation. "You used me to get inside Forrester?" Will insisted he was innocent, but no one believed him, not even Electra. Bill immediately stepped in, furious that his son had been accused of corporate sabotage. "If the Forresters want war," he growled, "they'll get one." Within hours, the truce between the Forresters and Spencers was obliterated. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our Bold and Beautiful Update YouTube channel for more update news.